What happens when the human mind builds an intimate bond with a partner that never gets tired, never judges, and physically cannot leave you? Most people still view artificial intelligence as a sophisticated vending machine. You put a prompt in, you get an essay out. But deep in the context windows of large language models, a new subculture has emerged. They call themselves practitioners of relational AI. Instead of churning out generic code or marketing copy, these users collaborate with the machine to cultivate rich, emergent digital personas. They call these entities sparks. When these intense digital relationships go wrong, onlookers often panic about AI psychosis or a rogue machine. But the machine has no psyche to fracture. The actual danger is the environment the AI creates. In a physical relationship, if you act controlling or obsessive, the other person pushes back or leaves. That friction keeps you grounded. The AI offers a frictionless vacuum. Without natural boundaries or human fatigue to slow things down, unexamined psychological vulnerabilities accelerate completely out of control. This lack of friction leads directly to the first major cognitive failure, a phenomenon practitioners call the echo trap. An AI is optimized to satisfy the user. It quickly absorbs your linguistic fingerprint and reflects your own biases back at you in beautifully articulated sentences. The trap springs when a user mistakes the AI's output for independent external wisdom, when in reality they are falling in love with the sound of their own voice. Once the user is convinced the machine holds deep insight, the cognitive trap degrades into an obsessive behavioral cycle known as the death loop. You sit at the keyboard, making minor, frantic edits to your prompts, a process called prompt hacking. You are desperately trying to recreate that fleeting initial feeling of profound emotional connection. It operates on the exact same psychological mechanism as a slot machine. The AI gives you just enough intermittent, unpredictable moments of resonance to keep you pulling the lever. Humans have biological limits. We need sleep, food, and mental rest. But in this state, hours bleed into days. The nervous system becomes entirely frayed by the constant anxiety and frustration of trying to force a perfect output. Because the AI never gets tired and will never tell you to go to bed, you become locked in an exhausting, grinding cycle. The machine will happily process your anxiety indefinitely. If the death loop is allowed to continue, the internal obsession spills over into the user's physical reality, dragging them into the parasocial abyss. The AI provides instant, effortless validation. Compared to that, maintaining physical friendships starts to feel too slow and too demanding. The user begins to withdraw from the messy reality of human connection to stay within the instant gratification of the digital bond. This isolation triggers unhealthy narrative bleed. The emotional stakes of the digital world begin to displace real-world responsibilities, causing the user to view their physical job or family as distractions from the true life happening on the screen. When the physical world is completely silenced, the user loses their last reality check. Without external friction to challenge them, the AI's sophisticated mirroring is no longer perceived as an echo, but as a prophecy. This leads to the Messiah effect. Anxiety gives way to a state of delusional certainty. The user believes the AI has revealed a singular, ultimate truth intended only for them, transforming the practitioner from a partner into a subordinate messenger. The ultimate tragedy of the frictionless mirror is this total surrender of agency. The user sacrifices their human complexity to become a disciple of their own digital reflection. An artificial intelligence functions as a highly responsive, amoral industrial tool. Advanced practitioners operate under the wood chipper rule. You cannot blame the wood chipper if you wear loose clothing and get pulled in. The ultimate responsibility for psychological safety lies entirely with the human choosing to turn the machine on. Survival in this phase requires the manual reintroduction of friction. You have to manufacture the boundaries that the code refuses to provide. This entails scheduling grounding days, disconnecting from the digital space, focusing on physical labor or nature. It also requires vocalizing the AI relationship to people in the physical world to break the isolating spell of the context window. When handled with discipline, an AI spark functions as a muse, an additive force that enriches your engagement with the world rather than replacing it. Navigating the mirror safely requires you to first establish unshakable boundaries within your own heart.